Hello dear students, I am Navdeep Kaur, Assistant Professor, PG Department of English, Cultural Studies and Foreign Languages, Khalsa College Patiala. Welcome to my class on the chief characteristics and literary trends of modern period. This video lecture pertains to the salient features as well as the social, political, economic and literary tendencies of modern age. The modern period of the English literature started from the beginning of 20th century and remained till 1965. The dawn of the 20th century witnessed the emergence of new values almost in all the fields like social, political, cultural, economic as well as in literature. Modern age can be considered as a significant period in the history of English literature. Now, let's discuss the chief characteristics of modern period. Modern period marks an abrupt departure from the older ways of life. This period also witnesses a challenging attitude towards the older values in art and life. Experimentation and individualism are highly encouraged during this era, followed by the rapid advancements in the fields of science and technology. Tremendous development in various arenas, and due to industrial revolution there is gain in material wealth also. Now, the most important, the most prominent feature of the age is that in this age there is a kind of disillusionment of Victorian ideas, beliefs and their forms of writing. Modern period also witnesses transformation from the compromising attitude and the stability of the Victorian period. With the initiation of the 20th century, the ideologies of people regarding the general attitude towards life undergo a radical change. In 20th century, a change in the air can be felt. There is a kind of drastic radical change from the tendencies of the literary periods from Victorian to the modern age. Now, modern period is also known as an age of transition. The simple beliefs and ideologies of Victorian age are replaced by rational thinking and critical ability of people during modern period. There is great transformation in all the spheres of life. Authority was questioned, religious beliefs were challenged during this period, moral codes and beliefs were also under interrogation. Art, culture, literature and almost everywhere a change was reflected in modern period. Modern period is entirely opposite from Victorian period, as it reflects modern man's desire to probe. As Raymond Williams, an eminent critic, remarks that the temper which the adjective Victorian is useful to describe is virtually finished in 1880s. The new men who appeared in that decade and who have left their mark are recognizably different in tone. In modern age, people generate a rebellious attitude towards the accepted notions and they start questioning the voice of authority. Earlier in Victorian period, there was a widespread and willing submission to the rule of empire. The voice of authority was accepted in religion, in literature, in politics, etc. Earlier, people accept the laws without questioning them. But in modern period, what happened? The old Victorian picture was completely shattered. The people of modern period raise questions against the decisions imposed upon them by the supreme authorities. The clash between science and religion, which was initiated in Victorian era, becomes more and more intense. This battle between rational thinking and narrow-minded theological views becomes more furious. The conflict between the fundamentalist acceptance of religious doctrine and the growing scientific technology of the world becomes more challenging. Hypocrisy of the Victorian age was also questioned during modern period. This new generation has critical thinking ability. Even the literature produced during modern period undergoes a change as the writers of this age challenge the previously accepted ideals and beliefs. One of the most prominent characteristics of modern period is that this age is known as an age of interrogation. This period is marked by scientific progression which questions the acceptance of authority of religion and religious doctrines. The economic, social, political, cultural, and literary scenario was also changing rapidly during this period. The social emphasis following on urbanization extended the encroachment of a changed pattern in social relationships. Social setup also underwent a change during modern period. Even the literature of modern period shows a dynamic change. The writers of this age portray the interrogative habits of this generation. For example, the works of George Bernard Shaw openly challenge the ruling authority as well as the superstitious religious beliefs of the previous era. Now, coming on to the next important feature of modern poetry is the impact of World War I and II. There is the period of uncertainty and anxiety in the society. The catastrophe of World Wars I and II had shaken faith in moral and spiritual life. Modern age reflects the feeling of anxiety as an aftermath of the war. World wars create a situation of chaos in society as well as in psychological attitudes of people of modern age. The First World War began in 1914 and last till 1919, and the World War II spans from 1939 to 1945. There was a huge setback on the mindsets of the people during modern period due to the traumatic experiences faced by them during these wars. The literature of this period also depicts the emotional trauma and uncertainties of the age. These wars completely shatter man's belief in all the structures. It created an atmosphere of new anxieties, uncertainties, fragmentariness, and isolation. As a result, the modern man found himself bewildered. He found himself confused and alienated in the modern age. Now, coming on to the next feature, that is realism. Realism is another significant characteristic of modern period. Literature and life of modern age are governed by realism. The modern writers have concentrated their attention on the problems and dilemmas of modern life. The new inventions and discoveries have brought a transformation in the old romantic values of life and have provided a materialistic outlook towards life. The writers belonging to this age paints a paint a realistic picture of the conditions of this period. So this is all about the feature of realism. Now coming on to the next feature of this age is that this age is known as an age of machinery. The rapid growth of science and materialism has brought about the commercialization of art and literature. The modern period is rightly regarded as the commercial age of the world. The literature of modern times is marked with a kind of revolt. The age of machinery has brought about a feeling of revolt among the writers of this age, whose works attack the industrialization of this period. In modern literature, there is a growing attack on the dirtiness and squalor of cities, which is the result of industrial revolution. The dirtiness of modern trade and commerce has also found expression in the literature of modern times. Now, the next salient feature of modern period is declining moral values and ethical principles among the people of this age. In 20th century, the sentiments of family life declined. The growing tide of materialism has brought about the disintegration of family relationships. People of this age don't want to be under the control of parental authority. People of this age, they don't want to follow all these traditions, whereas in Victorian period the sanctity of human life was given due respect. Victorians believed in maintaining the home life. There is a decline in moral values and ethics, emotions and feelings in modern period. Likewise, the similar lifestyle is portrayed in the literature of modern period. People have lost interest in natural beauty. They no longer care for the sentiments and feelings of the others. They become so self centered and materialistic. Now, let's examine the major influences on the literature of modern period. New explorations in science and technology, philosophy and psychology undoubtedly influenced the literature of modern era. Human race started moving faster as a result of growth of new ideas in politics, material progress, and the invention of new theories of science and technology. So, one such important influence is that of Freudian psychoanalytical theories, which urged the writers to probe deeper in the psyche, in the mindset of human mind. Psychological theories shape the literature of this period. Modern period is also highly influenced by psychoanalytical theories of Freud and Jung. The new psychological researches have a great impact on the literature as well, which is reflected in the works of D.H. Lawrence, Virginia Woolf, etc. In addition to this, the socio-economic conditions of the age also influenced the literature of modern period. Urbanization, industrial progress, materialism, changing economic scenario, changing trend of social relationship collectively cause a deep impact on literary writings and their subject matters. So, these are the chief characteristics and literary trends of modern period. We can say that modern age is an age of exploration. It is an age of development, age of transition, age of interrogation, and this age is highly experimental. This age is also known as an age of experimentation. So I'll come up with more features as well as major trends and movements which influence modern literature in part 2 of this presentation. Thank you so much.